Welcome. All right, so I'm going to have my husband do a quick sound check just to verify. If you can hear me, give me a yes, I can hear you. I can hear my echo over there, so I think we're good to go. Two little points up front, personal notes. We have construction going on outside our house, so if you hear loud noises, I do apologize. They shouldn't be working on the weekends, but they're behind schedule, so we're having a lot of noise in our house. I also woke up with a sore throat this morning, so if I start coughing or I have to pause for water, it's just because of my sore throat, but the show must go on. So Miss Ella, who if you've been on our lives before, my daughter, she'll probably be joining us in just a second. She wants to hang out with us too. I'm going to say hi to some people here in the comments. You guys were on really early. My goodness, I saw so many of you in the comments early. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, so many people. So excited y'all are here. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Jane. Hi, Christine. Hi, Beth. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Jen, Jennifer, Lynn, Carol. Hi, everybody. All right. All right, so let me get that off my screen real quick. I'm just going to be distracted saying hi to you guys for the next, 20 minutes. All right, this is Miss Krista Belli. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Right there. Camera's there. It's natural to look at the screen over here, but we always forget the camera's over here. All right. Okay, so first, who is excited for the Cricut Craftfest? Raise your hand. Are you excited for the Cricut Craftfest? No. Well, I think everybody then needs to tell Christabella how excited she should be for the Craftfest. Are you a little nervous? No? Are you going to sing us a Taylor Swift song then today? We're going to show everybody how we were shaking our butterflies out. We always get the tingles and the nerves before you do live, so we were shaking our butterflies out. All right. Okay, everybody. So, all right. Yeah. All right. No. Don't go under the table. I don't want you to get hurt. All right. So let me just give you a quick roadmap. Maybe you're shaking the camera. Let's not do that. Okay. We'll give you a quick roadmap of everything we're going to cover in the next hour during our live. So first, of course, this is our live kickoff party for the Cricut Craftfest that is starting on Monday. Yay. Monday. If you haven't got your free ticket yet, I want you to head over to abbykirsenscraftfest.com and I want you to grab your free ticket. We have so many amazing projects. I know a lot of you are joining us from other events, and this is your second, third, or even fourth event with us. So I'm super excited to see so many returning faces as well as all of our new folks. So if you haven't got your free ticket yet, make sure you do that. I also know we have tons of people on here who have grabbed that VIP access pass for that VIP experience. If you haven't grabbed it yet, make sure you get it this week because the price is going to increase to $97. Right now, you can grab it for just $48, $49, one of those two. I've had so many numbers in my head lately, guys. Yeah. You can find it right there. We have people helping me put stuff up on the screen. See, it takes a village. All right, so I also want to mention, just for a quick second, our amazing sponsors for our event. We have, you can check them out at abbykirsenscraftfest.com/sponsors. They have lots of items they're giving away and so many savings on there. So make sure you do not neglect to check that out. There's lots of free goodies just sitting there waiting for you to take, okay? So we have the amazing Create Room, who's the creator of the Dream Box, which I have one and I love it. We have Paper Planner Club. My friend Mim, she's all about teaching you how to make stickers and planner stickers. Creative Fabrica, which is awesome for fonts and other design assets. And then we have Stamp Me Some Love from my friend Brandy, who is all about making cards. She does some amazing card techniques. And then 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I absolutely adore them for all of my cardstock. Oh, you brought your own cup up. Okay. I absolutely adore them for all of my cardstock. They have so many beautiful colors and textures, so make sure you check them out. They are my go-to resource. Okay. What we're going to be covering in this live, I'm going to first share my screen with you. I'm going to go over how you're going to just download an SVG cut file, which is the design format that is the most popular to use with Design Space. I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to actually share my screen with you and give you an example of what one of our speaker pages is going to look like on Monday, so you're super comfortable grabbing those templates when those live workshops hit. Well, not live, when they become live for you to view. So I'm going to go over that step by step. Then I'm also going to show you how to upload a PNG or JPEG format. They both behave similarly to Design Space as well. And we're going to complete our Print Then Cut Valentine's Day Friendship Bracelet project. You want to show that to them? Yeah, they're so fun. All right, so I made these for my daughter because she is in love with Taylor Swift right now. I realize half the world is talking about her, but she absolutely adores Taylor Swift songs, and I thought, well, it would be super fun to do something with friendship bracelets. So we created these cute little printables with fun phrases on them, and then we're putting friendship bracelets on them. Now, don't worry if you don't like the phrases that are on them. I have blank ones too, so you can type out your own, and I'm going to cover that as well when I share my screen with you. You're so good at that. So these are just a lot of fun to make, and I thought it would be a cute and simple, fun project for us to do together. Now, the templates for these, I'm going to give you them for free. Members.abkirstencollections.com. You'll be able to find them there. I'll share my screen with you and just give you a visual of where we're going with that. So that's going to be the highlight of this. I'll answer questions along the way. I'm going to pause in a minute and see what questions we have thus far. And at the end, we're going to be doing some giveaways. So I'll be giving away some Cricut materials as well as some VIP passes. So stick with us to the end because I've got some fun giveaways coming your way. Speaking of giveaways, make sure you go and check out our giveaway page on abkirstenscraftfest.com/giveaways-3. You're going to find over 34 giveaways on there right now, including a dream box, Cricut machines, so much good stuff on there, guys. Don't miss your chance to enter for these giveaways, okay? This is just amazing what our speakers and sponsors put out there, and they're being so generous with what they give, and there's lots open to international folks too, so go and check that out. You don't want to miss it. Make a little note so you can come back to that after the live. There will be a replay of this, so you can come back and review all of it if you need to. All right, let me take a breath and a drink and see if there's any questions before I share my screen with y'all. Okay, are you gonna take a drink too? Okay. Do you see any questions coming up on me? Oh, I see it in Orlando, Florida in here. It just flashed. Someone was from Orlando, Florida. We're in Florida too. Yep. All right. Some of you are excited about the giveaways. Okay. Yeah, make sure you get those giveaways done, guys. See so many of you excited about that. Make sure you grab, some of you are mentioning the VIP pass. If you have the VIP pass, I want you to drop a comment for me telling me why you love it. Okay, we always get tons of feedback of people love it because you can go back. There's no limit. It's lifetime access, so many bonuses. But if you have it, share with everyone else in the comments why they got to grab it before the price goes up because it's amazing. It gets better every year, I swear. All right, so. All right, I don't see any major questions at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop right into the tutorial for the screen sharing, and then we will dive into our craft and giveaways and all that good stuff. So, Miss Ella, are you going to go backstage for a while? Okay, I'll see you in a bit. She doesn't like when I do the screen share part because she can't be involved, so she's like, I'm out of here. All right, so let me go ahead and get my computer a little closer to me here so I can share my screen with you guys. Okie dokie. Thank you all so much for sharing how much you love the VIP pass in the comments. I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my screen sharing going here. Libby, you want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here.
Go see Libby.
Come here. For those of you who've been on me with before, I have a Frenchie. We also have a golden, but she's a little bit loud. Libby likes to say hi. Let's say hi. You guys have fur babies at home? Tell me what the name of your fur baby is. This is Liberty. We call her Libby for short. Look at that little face. She's looking all day long, right? So if you hear snoring in the background, it's not me. It's her. Snorting, all that good stuff. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen. Someone said, "Oh, Pop-Tart, that's so cute, Milo. Oh, that's so cute, Fluffy and Coffee. That's adorable." I love hearing people's pet names. I have so many names I want to name pets. I need like another 30 dogs. Anyways, let's go ahead and share screen.
You may want to mention that if we don't.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a second. Everything's looking all right from my end. You seen everything okay, babe?
Yep.
Yep. All right. If y'all have any troubles with anything along the way, and it seems to be something from my end, please just let us know. I got my husband and my other team members monitoring comments, so we'll make sure that we get things taken care of. All right. So first things first. How do we upload an SVG file to Cricut? I know we have many beginners among us. I always do this part when we do these lives because I want to make sure that you're confident, and I don't want to assume that a newbie understands this. And I also don't want to leave a beginner, out there kind of flailing in the wind and needing to go to Google to look for answers. We're here to help you. So this is just a sample preview page. It's not live for anybody to access right now, but this is a sample preview page of what one of our workshop pages would look like come Monday when the event starts. So here we have, of course, you'll have your video. And if you scroll down, you'll find a button on all of the pages, no matter which workshop that you are looking at. And this button will take you to where you can download the supply lists, the templates, and the worksheet that goes with it, okay? And when you're in this folder, you're going to see everything as an individual file. You'll also see a completed zip file. So if you don't want to download them individually, you can just hit that downloaded zip file right there. But if you're on a mobile device or you're not comfortable with zips, then I highly recommend you just download individually, which is what I'm going to demonstrate here. Any major questions so far, babe?
When's the deadline for the price going up for the VIP pass?
Great question. So that is going to be the end date of the event. It's February 9th. So that'll be midnight Eastern Standard Time, February 9th. So make sure you grab that then. Thanks for asking that. It's a great question. Anything else that I need to cover before I continue?
Nope. People have lots of dogs and cats.
I love that. Maybe we should just do a live sometime. It's just totally pet themed and we all share our pets or something. I don't know. That would be fun. Okay, so here we are. Again, sample page. You will find that button. You'll click over here to our Google Drive folder. There's going to be one for each workshop, each speaker, every single day, and so forth. It'll be very repetitive. So I'm going to go ahead and just download one of these designs. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can, click the three dots and hit download. You can actually click on the file to open it up and then click download. Please note that whatever preview you're seeing here is not a reflection of what it's going to look like in Design Space. Google Drive, Dropbox, all those places they give these little choppy previews and they're not a reflection of everything in the file. So if something looks cut off, if something looks grainy or pixelated, has nothing to do with how the file will actually appear once we get it into Design Space. So just ignore that. I like to note that because we sometimes get some questions on that. So I'm going to click the three dots. I'm going to hit download. I'm just going to place this onto my computer. I recommend saving it somewhere like, your desktop, or create a folder so that you can easily find, everything that you have for the Craftfest and you're not, losing the pieces and everything like that, especially if you only have the free ticket and don't plan to buy that VIP pass. Make sure you keep good track of all of that so that you don't lose any of that information. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to where I saved the file to. Now it can, often folks might, open this in like a new window or something like that, and it might look like this. You don't want to do that because what we want is we want to take it from where we saved it on our computer or device and then take it into Design Space. So this isn't going to get you anywhere. So you don't want to open this in a new browser tab. You want to navigate to where you saved it on your computer or device. So I'm going to head over to Design Space here. And let me actually go to a clean canvas. Here we go. All right. So here we are in Cricut Design Space. You would, of course, land on the home page, but then you can toggle right over there to the canvas at the top. So you'll land right here. To get the SVG file into Design Space, you want to visit the design panel, which is to your left-hand side over here. Towards the bottom, you'll see an upload button. My mouse is currently circling around it right here. So it's the second one from the bottom. So you'll click on upload, and then you'll be dropped onto a screen that looks similar to this, and you'll want to click upload image. And then you can go ahead and click the browse button to open your file finder and navigate on your computer to wherever it is, or you can drag and drop the file directly there. I like to drag and drop, but do note that if you are using a zip file, you have to unzip before you can drag and drop the individual SVGs or printing cut items or JPEGs or PNG files. You have to do all that first. So just make sure that you're aware of that, because if you try to drag a zip over, it's not going to let you do it. So let me go over to my file finder here. And here's my desktop. Here's where I saved this SVG right here that we just downloaded it. And it is appearing with this nice little preview on it. So I want to note that the reason it's appearing like this on my computer is because I have Inkscape installed on my computer and I have it set up that way. If yours looks like a Chrome or an Edge icon or some other internet browser, Firefox, that is your SVG. It's just the way your computer or your device is labeling it, because it doesn't have a corresponding software that is set up to display it in a specific manner like I'm showing you here with my computer. So you're not doing anything wrong. You can still use the files. I just want to make sure y'all know that, why it looks that way on my screen as opposed to some other options you might see depending on your device. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull over this. I'm just going to drag and drop it. And when I do, actually, let me do that again, because it didn't really demonstrate very clearly, did it? Let me get this off my screen here. Okay, so dragging and dropping right over here. We'll get that little preview. You can click upload at the bottom corner. You can change the name if you want, but I never really do. And then it's going to drop it under recent uploads here, okay? And then you just need to make sure you select that so that it's highlighted and click add to canvas at the bottom. And there we go. So that's how easy it is. 1, 2, 3, boom, we brought in our SVG file. So SVG is one of a couple different formats you might come in contact with, and we're going to cover the next one in a minute, which would be for like a print and cut process. But I wanted to walk through that step by step using our speaker pages. So I'm going to take a breath for a moment and see if we have any questions up to this point, so I can make sure y'all feel confident with what I just showed you before I dive into the next thing. So if they do any notable questions I need to cover.
A few complaints about design space glitches and updates.
Sorry, y'all. All right. Whew. Design space glitches and updates. Yeah, guys, I feel you on that. I have dealt with my share. I will tell you that I've used other softwares too, and they all have glitches. At some point, they're all going to have glitches. If you're experiencing something that you just can't get figured out, there's 2 things I recommend that you do. So I'll cover that real quick. First, try switching your mode in Design Space. So let me show you that real quick. Up at the top right-hand corner where your profile is, if you click on that and you click on Settings, and then you'll see here under Application Experience, we have the live version and we have the beta version. Oftentimes, if there's a persistent bug, one of the ways around it is to switch from whichever version you are currently on to the other one. So I'm on live, so maybe if I had a problem right now, I'd try switching to beta. You would just click that, hit done, it would reopen Design Space. I'm not going to do that now because it would go through the whole process of that. But that is one way, because sometimes there is an isolated bug in the beta version or in the live version that the other version may not have. So always give that a try. That's a super quick fix you can handle and control for yourself. And the second thing I would strongly recommend, up here at the very top, it says help and contact member care. They are great about responding and helping. And if there is a noted bug, they will either inform you that they're working on it or give you a workaround for it. So Cricut definitely cares about their people and their customers. So always reach out for help if you need it. And then of course you can reach out to us as well. I don't work for Cricut, but we love supporting Cricut crafters. So we're always here to support you as well. So hopefully that helps a little bit. All right, so anything else I need to note before I head on to the next step? All right, so seems like we're in a pretty good place, and I will try and go back through the comments. They're moving quite fast, so I will try and go back through the comments when I'm done with this as well. If we missed something, I'll try and address it that way. Okay, so next up, I'm going to show you how to import a PNG image, which would serve as a print then cut process. So let me define what a print and cut process is real quick, because I know there's some beginners here who have no idea what I mean when I say that. So print and cut process is when you send an image to your inkjet printer through Cricut Design Space, and you would print it out with your inkjet printer, and then Cricut would scan these registration marks. That's why you have to print it through Design Space, and it would cut the outline according to how you've set up or designed the image in Design Space, okay? So it's just a fun way to, you know, be able to make things like stickers, or the projects are a lot faster usually because you don't have to do layers, gift tags. There's so many things you can do with print and cut. So print and cut process is basically you're using your Cricut in conjunction with your inkjet printer. The Cricut itself does not have ink in it, so I do want to note that because I know some beginners think that the Cricut itself is a printer. It is not a printer. You use it alongside an inkjet printer. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and switch to my other canvas here. So this is the little project we're going to be cutting out. It's so much fun. And I want to show you how to bring this design in because it looks just a little bit different than an SVG format that you would bring in. So you're going to do exactly the same thing going to that upload button. It'll be the same spot as before. Y'all hear that snoring? That's my dog. I swear she's like right next to the microphone on purpose. Okay. So we're going to click upload image again. I'm going to go back to my file finder here and let's go over to where I have this project right here. Alrighty.
Can you use laser printer for print and cut?
So laser printers, I get that question a lot. Here's the deal. I have used a laser printer with my Cricut machine before. However, it is not recommended by Cricut to use a laser. It's just the difference of how the laser, you know, how it uses the powder and like burning it into the paper as opposed to like the inkjet on top. There's reasons that Cricut has. You can do a quick search on it if you are interested in learning the details of that article. I have used it before, so I'm not going to say you can't. Just know that it's not recommended by Cricut. Cricut recommends the inkjet printer. So for recommendation's sake, I would say stick with inkjet if you can. Alrighty, so here we are. I have all these little designs. Now I want to note these are going to be freebies for you. So you can head over to members.abbykirstoncollections.com and you'll find them right there for free to download. So if you have not created an account with us before, then you can absolutely do that. It's a quick setup. If you already have one, just log in and you'll be able to download all these files for yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my file finder because I already have them there. And let's see. So I want to note we have a bunch of cute sayings here, and we also have blank ones. So if you're like, I don't like any of the sayings that are on them, you can just type your own, and I will actually demonstrate that for you as well. So you don't have to worry about knowing how to do that on your own. So let's go ahead and just pull one of these over. I'm just going to pull this one over here. Same process. We're on that browse screen there. And I'm going to drag and drop the file. Now here's where it looks a little bit different. So before we didn't get this screen with the SVG file. We currently have a different question that is being asked to us. It's asking, do we want this to be simple, moderately complex, or complex? So it is extremely rare that you are going to want to select anything except the complex feature. And the reason for that is you usually want to preserve all those beautiful details that you see here, right? So if we click on simple, you're going to see that it sort of strips away some of the details. See how it stripped away some of those details there? Things don't look as many shades of color here. But if we click on complex, it looks exactly like it did before we brought it into Design Space. So super important that you stick with that unless you have a reason otherwise not to. So I'm going to click continue at the bottom. There's nothing in this case you need to do on this screen here. There's nothing for our event that you should need to do either. All of our speakers are professionals and they know how to design professional files that don't need additional, edits made to them or anything like that. So there's nothing you really need to do at this point on the screen. But just for information's sake, if you need to erase something or you need to get rid of a white background, you can very easily click on that white background or any object to get rid of it. So for example, if I click on that heart, it'll disappear. Okay. I'm going to hit undo right at the top here. I'll put it back the way it was. Then I'll click apply and continue at the bottom. And it's going to ask you one more question. It's going to say, which upload type do you want? So do you want this to be a cut image, meaning it's just going to cut the silhouette of it, no colors, no ink involved? Or do you want it to be a print and cut image, which means we want it to look exactly like the image here with all the pretty colors in it and everything like that. So of course we want to select print then cut option. Then you'll just confirm by clicking upload at the bottom. Usually takes a moment or two. And it'll confirm that the image was uploaded. And then again, you'll just select here and add it to your canvas. Now with PNG or JPEG images, they're going to come in huge usually, and this is actually a really good thing, because if I were to have created this image to where it came in small, at a smaller size, you would have low resolution when you print this out. So PNG and JPEG images often will need to be resized to your preference. So that's very easy to do in Design Space. You can, let me zoom out here for you. It's quite big. So you can easily come to any one of these corners with these little white square dots, and you can click, hold, and drag to scale larger or smaller, okay? You can also use the size box at the top up here to manually type in a size. For example, these over here are set to 6.5. So I'm just going to type in 6.5, and I'm working in inches. But if you're working in imperial and that's how you have your software set up in settings, then of course convert that accordingly. Okay. So when I type in 6.5, I just hit enter on my keyboard and it adjusted that accordingly. Let me zoom in here. Please note that this little lock icon right here between the width and the height is important. If you were to have, let me actually undo that just to show you. If you were to have that unlocked, and you can see how we can click it and turn it locked and unlocked. If we were to have that unlocked and then we were to change this, we're actually going to get a really weird result. So make sure that that lock icon remains closed when you're making those adjustments, okay? 6.5 is what I'm going to scale mine to. Feel free to adjust yours differently if you want. These here are, these here are like 6, but the ones I did here are 6.5, so they're just a little bit bigger. All right. So what if we want to type out our own text? I'm going to show you that next. Let me take a breath and see if we have anything I need to address before moving into our next phase. Any questions, honey?
Someone's asking about reselling these files.
Reselling these, like the designs we're showing here?
Yeah.
Or for the Craftfest in general?
Are the designs okay to sell?
So if we're talking about my designs, like these here, you can get a commercial license over at members.abbykirsoncollections.com. There's a membership tier in there that will allow you to use these for end product designs, meaning you physically resell the actual product, not the digital. Of course, you can't resell the templates, but you can resell the actual creation from the template. So that is the case for my designs. If we're talking in reference to all of our speakers, they each have their own criteria to that. It will often be noted in the files, and if it is not, then I highly just recommend that you either reach out to us or reach out to the speaker directly, go to their website and just hit their contact form and ask them if that's allowed, and they'll have a definite answer for you one way or another. But I can't make assumptions based on other people's designs. So just hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, we just always ask the individual creator what they allow and if there's a commercial license involved or if it's included.
Just remind that there will be a replay available.
Okay, so yes, sounds like there were some questions about a replay. Yes, this all will be up right after we finish. Replay available. You can pause it, rewind, step by step. I know we kind of keep a fairly steady pace as we go because there's a lot to cover, but you can absolutely, absolutely review this again and take it one step at a time, 100%. Anything else? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue at this point, and then we'll break for some more questions in a few minutes. So let's say we want to add our own text to this design here, okay? So for that, we're going to use our text tool, also found in the design panel to our left-hand side. So it's right in the middle there. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you're going to get a little text box that'll pop up on your screen here, okay? So first thing I want to cover with the text box, especially since they did a lot of updating to text over the last year or so, is if you click off, you're going to get a box that looks like this. And if you're trying to get back to where you can edit the text, you just want to double click inside the box and it'll get back to that highlighted cursor area. If you have something you would like to add down there, she's snoring so loud. I have no idea how much you guys can hear of that, but she's right here and she is snoring. There's a sunspot on my floor, so she loves the sunspot. You know, you're quite distracting, not just because you're cute. All right, so if we're going to be typing anything out, you click off, it's going to look like this. Double click inside so you can get that cursor. So I'm going to go ahead and just backspace on my computer here, and let's just type something out here, a Valentine's phrase. I'll just say, life is sweeter with you in it. Did I spell that right? I've done so much editing this week, guys, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm spelling words right anymore.
Yes, that's right.
My husband tells me it's right, so okay. All right, so now what if we want to change our font? Because it usually will default to this Cricut Sans, but it's pretty basic, right? We might want to have a totally different font and style to what we're working with here. So if we want to change our font, with this selected, you're going to go up to the font option. You won't have this sub panel up here if you have clicked off like this. So you have to click on this, and then you have to actually to get this to appear, and then click on the font drop down here. And then we're presented with Cricut's fonts, which you can buy individually. There are some free ones, or if you're an Access subscriber, then of course you'll have access to all of them. Or we could check out our system fonts. So if you've downloaded a font to your computer, or just any other default fonts you might already have on your computer, then you can go over there, which is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use, I think it's the Mini Garden font. Yep, Mini Garden font. I'm going to use that one for this project. So I'm just going to select that. And it usually takes a second. There it goes. You have to click off sometimes to get it to acknowledge that. All right, so our font is now changed. There's a couple things about this I still want to alter, though. I want to alter the color. We've got to combine it with our Valentine, right? And I also want to change the spacing of how the lines are. So, and the scale. So let's start with the scale. So I'm just going to come to one of these corners here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag to scale it down. I'm going to zoom in a bit more here. Okay, let me see how this looks. I don't know if I'm going to want it to stay 2 lines or if I'm going to want to make it more. I think 2 lines will be fine. All right. So what I'm going to do here next is I'm going to change the color. So with this selected, go up to the top. Next to the operation, you're going to see a color swatch, and that color is going to match the color of the item selected on your canvas. So if you want to change that, you're going to need to click on it, and then you can change the color. If you don't like any of these colors here, just click Advanced, and you have every color of the rainbow available to you. You can move around within here. You can use the slider down here. You can even put a specific color hex code in there if you happen to know that and you want to copy and paste that in. I'm just going to stick with white because that matches the other Valentines that I already created. So I'm going to use the white. And there we go. So I'm being a little slow today. All right, so let's pull this over. Actually, first, let's pull this over because you can see it better there. Let me show you guys another little hack, okay? So this is something I started using a lot more frequently. If you want to change the color of your canvas, down here at the bottom of the layers panel to the bottom right-hand side, you'll see blank canvas. If you click on that, you're going to get a totally different bar at the top here, okay? And if you do that, you'll get the color swatch, and you can actually change the color of the canvas. Ta-da! So if you want more contrast in what you're working in, that's a great trick to know how to do. So I use that a lot when I'm dealing with stuff like this, and I just want to be able to change that canvas color temporarily. All right, so going back to this, I'm going to alter the spacing between the lines because I feel like it's a little bit thick. So there are 2 ways to do this. The first way with this selected is to use this line spacing tool. It's about mid-screen here. And you can use the little arrows or type a direct value in. Now, if I use those little arrows and I start moving it down 1 decimal at a time, it's going to take a while, right? So I would recommend typing something in, but then it kind of gets confusing because it's like, well, how much should I type it in by? So what I prefer to do is I prefer to just separate the lines and move them myself because I can get a lot more control and it's just faster that way in my opinion. So if I want to tighten these lines up, I'm going to have my text selected. We're going to go to the advanced option. Again, you'll only see this if your text is selected, okay? It's not going to appear otherwise. So advanced, and then click on the ungroup to lines. So this is going to separate the top line from the bottom line, okay? Just like that, top line, bottom line. And you can still click in here at this point and make edits if you need to. And if you want to break another line, just put your cursor in there and hit your enter key, and it'll break the line again, okay? Same result. Undo that real quick. Okay, and then I'm just going to drag this up and make it just a little bit closer like that. And if you're worried about alignment, then you can just select both of them once you get them in that proper placement and use your align tool. So I've clicked and dragged over both of those. I'm going to click my align tool and I'm going to click center horizontally, and it barely moved, but it just shifted it so that everything is properly aligned on that horizontal axis. So that's just the steps I would go through to get faster results for my line height. But you can absolutely use those other options as well if that's what you prefer. So let's move this over here now. I'm going to, let's see, zoom in a little bit more here if it'll let me. With both these selected, I'm going to come to any one of these corners, and if you notice, if you hover right over the white dot, it changes to that transformation to scale up or down. But if you hover just outside, it turns into a rotation handle. So I want to rotate this just the tiniest bit there to kind of match the direction my heart is going there. Yeah, can you ask them to turn that down? Sorry, keeping the kids entertained while I'm on these lives always seems to be a challenge. All right. So that's looking pretty good for me. Let me zoom out here for just a minute. I just want to make sure before I make it final. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not perfect, but it is pretty darn close. Okay, so we have one final step, and this is the most important step if you're customizing these for yourself, so make sure you do not skip this step. At this point, we have two text lines here, and we have a print and cut. Look in our layers panel. It's always going to give you tons of information. Your layers panel is this stacked menu over here to your right-hand side. So we have text line 1, text line 2, or 1, 2, and then we have our print and cut friendship bracelet, Valentine printable. But they're all separated right now. If I try to go to my cut screen to get this cut out and printed, Liberty. Let me show you what's going to happen here. So if I try to do that, we're going to see that this does not have the text on it, and the text is actually present over here, and it's not even in the correct order. So if that happens to you, and it will if you don't do this next step, you're going to want to use your flatten tool to combine all these layers together, okay? So I'm zooming out here so we can get a better visual. I'm also going to change my canvas back to white. Okay. I'm going to click and drag, and I'll get to questions in a minute, guys. I'm going to click and drag over all three of those. I know all three are selected because I can see them highlighted in my layers panel. So we have text, text, and we have the base, our print and cut. With all three selected, I'm going to click on the flatten tool at the bottom of the layers panel. So the flatten tool lets you take multiple layers, flatten them into one result for the print and cut process. So like I just showed you a minute ago, if we try and do this now, it's not going to print out the way we want it. But if we click that button, now it looks a whole lot more like the other Valentines that I already brought in, right? So we have that flattened result. And again, you'll see it in the layers panel here. The layers panel will always show you any actions you've taken or what layers you have selected. All that information is always there. So always take a look at that layers panel. All right, so we're good to go now on that. There's one last thing I want to show you before I actually get this cut out. And that is maximizing your print and cut surface area. So if I, again, go to that cut screen by clicking on the Make It button or the Make button, you'll notice it's going to default to this, to where there's 2 on each page, which seems like an awful waste of space. And we always want to try and maximize that. But if we use our attach tool and we play with the placement, we'll be able to maximize that surface area, okay? So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Let me just grab, I'll just grab a few of these, okay? So I'm going to put 2 of these side by side, like that. Liberty's snorting in agreement, okay? And then I'm going to rotate this. You can rotate at the corner, or you can also rotate up here with the rotation. So if I know I want to rotate it 90 degrees, it can sometimes be a lot simpler just to type in 90 degrees and hit enter, and it'll do it in a one-click sort of way like that, okay? So at this point, I have this positioned a little bit better than what Cricut is defaulting to when I go to that cut screen. And if I click and drag over all 3 of these, we can see the size of them as a group, which is 6.5 by 8.89, okay? So by doing that, let me get this just a little bit closer. Click and drag over all 3 of those. Now we need to use the attach tool, which is going to hold the placement. So anytime you're working with text or a specific layout and you want to hold that placement so it doesn't change when you go to the cut screen, you want to use that attach tool. And the attach tool is found at the bottom of the layers panel right next to the flatten tool. So let's click attach. And then as I mentioned before, our action is reflected in the layers panel, okay? So we can clearly see these 3 items are attached. We can see we've taken that action on it. We can also see that there are no errors as far as like this being too big for the paper that we're using or the model of the machine we're using. If this was too big, we're going to get a little exclamation point right there. So if that happens to you, what you can do is click on that and you can hit auto resize and it'll adjust it to the maximum size for your paper. And right now in my settings, my paper size is letter size. If you have something different selected in your settings, which is again up here. So if we have, load type, we can see here I have letter size selected, but if you have something different selected, then it will reflect accordingly when it's auto resizing things, okay? Make sure you save your project so you can give it a name or just update your progress. Super important that you do that before you proceed. And I'm going to take a moment and then see if we have questions before we get this cut out. Questions, Sonny?
Where did you get the font, the mini garden font? And can this be used with the Cricut Joy machine?
The Cricut Joy Xtra can do print and cut. The original Cricut Joy cannot. So any of the Cricut models except for the original Tiny Joy, which is this little guy right here, can do print and cut. So the Cricut Joy Xtra can do print and cut. You'll just have some size limitations, of course, which I cut these on the Cricut Joy originally, so you'll be able to make these at the size they're at because it supports a letter size paper. So yes, you can, but just not the original Joy, okay? So that's the only one you can't do it with. If it's the Extra, you're good to go. And then the font, the mini garden font, I believe I got that off of Creative Fabrica. That's one of our sponsors, so make sure you check that out. I'll try and drop that in the comments later if I can. I have to go find the link for it. I think it's Creative Fabrica, but you can also just, Google mini garden font and it'll probably come up that way too. There may be different sites that also offer that.
Creative Fabrica was the number 1.
Okay, well, my husband says Creative Fabrica, so I was pretty sure it's Creative Fabrica. I usually use Creative Fabrica for my fonts because they have thousands of designs on there. So yeah, absolutely go check that out. And if you go to our sponsors page also, they have a free trial on there where you can get your first 10 designs for free. So if you're interested in that, you can get it for free if you haven't signed up yet. So go do that. Okay. Where was it? Did I answer both those questions? Yeah, I did. Is there another one?
And scrolling through.
We're just checking for questions.
Somebody was asking, where'd it go? I'll get back to that.
All right.
Why do you need to print before you cut a design?
Why do you need to print before you cut?
Yeah.
So the print and cut process, the way I'm going to walk you, this next part will probably answer that question. So you have to print first, and you have to print through Design Space so that it has the printed result. And then Design Space adds the black registration marks so that it knows how to scan the registration marks and read where to cut on the design. Okay, so it's just the whole sort of like software process. All right, so let me go ahead and click on that Maker, but I'm going to use my Maker 3 for this, but like I said, Joy Xtra, Maker, Maker 3, Explore 2, Explore 3, all those work with print and cut, so you can still do this. I'm going to click on Make It. Okay, so next step here, I have my letter size paper already set up. If you should need to change your material size, there is a drop-down option there on your left-hand side to do that. And we'll click Continue at the bottom. Make sure your Cricut is powered on. You want to either connect it with the USB cable that it comes with, or you can connect via Bluetooth in your settings as well, but you got to make sure it's powered on in either case. And then we would click Send to Printer. So here's a little pop-up you're going to get. I strongly recommend that you use your system dialog box, because when you use the system dialog box, it allows you to control your printer settings rather than have Cricut select the defaults. So with the system dialog option, you'll be able to do things like if you have a rear feeding tray versus a traditional feed tray, you can select which one that is. You can select print quality. We usually want the highest quality print. Often it'll just default to like the normal quality or whatever. So toggling that on allows you to access those additional dialog settings for your printer. Also, the bleed, add bleed, is currently default for being toggled on. And the reason we want add bleed on is because it's going to add a little bit of extra color around the design. So if it prints out and it looks a little bit fuzzier than normal, that's because it's added color around the design so that once it's cut, it's edge to edge color. Okay. I will also note real quick, guys, that I've been playing with these this week a lot. And Design Space is having a little glitch, I believe, with the add bleed function. If you can see, sort of, hard to see on camera, it's actually creating a little bit of like white in the bleed right now. So it's not absolutely perfect. This one turned out pretty good, but this one has a little bit of it. So I believe they're currently working that out. They still look fine, really. There's nothing major there that I'd be like, you can't use it. But I just want to note that in case you see that the edging looks a little bit like kind of blotchy almost. That's just something that they're working out. And I double checked that it wasn't my files. I actually printed the file without the bleed, and there was no issue. So I wanted to double check that to make sure there wasn't anything in our designs that was incorrect, but I'm just noting that there for your reference in case you experience that. I hope you don't. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And if you have the system dialog toggled on and you hit print, you're going to need to minimize Design Space because the box will usually pop up behind Design Space. So I'm just going to minimize that and minimize that. There we go. And here's my dialog box. So for me, this is what mine looks like. Yours may look completely different because you may have a completely different printer. I have a Canon Pixma that I use. I have an article on my blog, abbygearsoncollections.com, best printer for Cricut. If you just put that keyword in, I have a post written on all my most recommended printers. So if you're looking for one, you can go check that out and see the ones that I recommend the most. Media and quality is what I pay attention to when I'm setting these. So I like to feed it. I have a rear tray and a main tray, but I like the rear tray because for me, I'm using a white cardstock here. You can use a medium weight or a heavy weight. I'm using a heavy weight. So the heavy weight for me is 100-pound cardstock, but make sure that that's something your printer can handle. You don't want to end up with any like jams or a damaged printer. So medium weight, 65 to 80 pound, 100-pound cover weight is great for these, have good thickness to them. So for me, I would select rear tray, and then I would probably crank the quality up to best. And then I would go ahead and hit print. I'm not going to actually print right now because I already have some printed out, and I couldn't even show you because my printer's on the other side of the room anyways. So we're just going to pretend we hit print, and then we're going to pretend we have, oh, here's our printed result from our printer, okay? All right, so let me get that off there. One other thing I want to note is if you have not calibrated your machine, your Cricut machine, for print and cut yet, you do want to walk through that process first. Otherwise, you're going to end up with really sloppy results, and it's going to have a bunch of like weird white borders around it, and you're not going to like it. So we do have a step-by-step post on our site. You can just type in calibration for print and cut on abbyhirstencollections.com, and that will come up. So that is very easy to do by, let me just show you here so you know exactly where to go. We're dropping the links in, but I want to make sure I hit no, didn't I? I'll hit yes. Again, under that settings here, if you go over to machines and to machine calibration, select the machine model you're working with and hit start. It'll take you through the calibration process. It's pretty intuitive. Like you'll see step-by-step, Cricut will tell you what to do. So it's pretty easy to follow the prompts. So just make sure you've done that if you've never done that before, okay? We want to make sure you get the best results and that you're not wasting your ink and your paper, because I know that can get frustrating. All right, let me match up the one that I want to print, which is this one. Yeah, we're gonna cut that one out. Okay, so I already printed that. If you get to this stage and you have to go back and forth at any point in time, you can always click that I've already printed here on the right-hand side so that it'll proceed to the material selection for you. You can see here my maker is selected. It's connected. That's how we've gotten to this point. And I am using a heavy cardstock, so that's what I'm going to select. If it's not under your favorites or under popular, then just hit that browse all materials and you can type it in. So just type in the word cardstock. And you'll see all the cardstock options for you here. And then you can just select accordingly. But I got my heavy cardstock right here. Okay. So now it's just telling me that I need to load that. Is Ella downstairs? Miss Ella, you want to come up?
I know we're waiting. What is the number of bookmarks that you can use in Design Space?
Yeah, the number of bookmarks, good question. So I have my bookmark screen maxed out right now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 12, right? Yeah, 12. It's been a long week, guys. I told you basic math is a challenge right now. So this is the max amount you can have. It would be nice if they expanded that to maybe another row in the future, because I often find that I could use a few more. But yeah, that's the maximum number. And you can, like for me, when I'm working on a project, I'll find that like the plastic folder, this is a my material I created. I used that for a project and then I was like done with it. And I wasn't planning on touching that material for a while. And so as a result, I could just easily unbookmark that and then have another space to put something else in that maybe I'm using currently in a project I'm working on. That way you don't have to keep hitting browse and try and find it that way. All right, so we are at heavy cardstock. All right, Miss Ella. Okay, you need a doggy again? All right, so here we have our Cricut mat. I'm using the standard green mat. I'm gonna put you guys down and stop sharing my screen now. Okay. Go down here, Miss Ella's gonna load it up. This is our brayer tool. The brayer tool is super helpful in pressing material to the mat. It just, creates a good adhesion, gets out any like air bubbles, keeps the material from shifting when we're working. Can kind of extend the life of a mat that maybe is a little bit older. I'm gonna go ahead and load this into my Cricut machine, which is behind me here. So we're gonna press it against the rollers and press that double arrow flashing button. The double arrow flashing button won't flash until you've selected the material. So you have to select, like in my case, heavy cardstock. And once it's connected, it'll start flashing that double arrow button for you to press the mat against the rollers, press the button and it'll load the mat. It's gonna scan the mat to make sure it's long enough. Say what? Yeah, I know my head's cut up. It's cool. My husband, he's Mr. Technical over there. He's like, your head's cut off. I'm like, I know my head's cut off. Okay, there you go. My head's back. So once it scans the mat to make sure that it's the correct mat loaded, it's going to start flashing the play or the Cricut C icon. So in my case, it's a play icon because I have the Maker 3. And Miss Ellie, you can go ahead and press it if you did. Good job. All right. At this point, what's happening is Cricut is scanning those black registration marks. So remember I showed you that when you print through Design Space, that's why it's so important that you print through Design Space, it puts these black registration marks on your paper. And that's how Cricut knows where to cut. So it's going to take, I'd say maybe about a minute, maybe a little less, to scan each one of these. And then that will proceed with the cut after that. So it's not doing anything wrong. If you've never done this before, it's normal for it to do that. If you're having any issues getting your registration marks to read, like if you ever get a message that says registration marks are unreadable or can't read, make sure you have enough light in your space. That's the first thing that you want to check. If it's too dark in your space, it won't be able to read them. If there's any glares from like the paper or anything, won't be able to read them either. So just try and be mindful of that. I've rarely experienced that, but I always like to throw that note out there just in case. All right, so it's cutting that out. Why don't you pick out some bracelets there? Yeah, let me see that real quick. As you can see, we've been making lots of Valentines. When you do this for a living, you have to get creative with like, okay, my kid's gonna need Valentines for their class. So what project can I make for my community that they'll love, that my kid will love? And this is what we came up with. We've got lots of them. It's super cute. Let's see. We have, like I said, this was kind of inspired by Taylor Swift, although there's nothing directly on here that is related to that. We have the In My Valentine era and what's this? In Our Bestie era, Your Be Beautiful In and Out, Friends Forevermore. It's super fun. I got these little, for those of you who are wondering, I got these little bracelets off of Amazon. So you can probably find them at Target and Walmart too. You get big packs of them. They're very inexpensive. So this was a very frugal Valentine to be able to make for a class full of kids, because I was just able to print a few sheets of paper out and then grab these, and super quick and easy to make too. All right, so Ella, you want to tell them what you're doing? Because you got to explain the process, right? You can go back to Freeman. Okay, she's gonna pick the bracelets out. So we've unloaded our Cricut mat. We pressed that double arrow flashing button again once it was done. We've unloaded our Cricut mat. I'm gonna put you guys down here for just a minute so you can see. All right. There we go. Okay. So when you take items off of your Cricut mat, it's best practice to flip the mat over and to peel the mat away. I know a lot of people will go to lift the material or try to use the spatula tool. I haven't used the spatula tool in 8 years because I just do this, and I find that it's best. Don't crease your mat because you don't want to end up with a bunch of bumps in the surface and it will end up not cutting well. But you just gently roll the mat away. Like that. And then you can do the same thing with the actual items that you're pulling off there. Liberty's liking our project. All right, there we go. Okay, so here are our results. So fun. I love them. They turned out really good. These ones turned out really good. The other ones you can see had a little bit of that, I think, bug that's in Design Space that you can sort of see. It's really hard to tell, but these ones turned out really good. All right, so to finish these off, I just wrapped the bracelet around them twice. So do you have a bracelet for me, Miss Ella? Do you want to do this part?
Yeah, I want the bracelet.
Okay, you can do the bracelet part.
I got one more.
Oh, one more. Okay. There we go. Yep, make sure you have it under the camera. So she's just wrapping it twice around, and then you can, yep, sort of even it out there. Good job. So these are measuring about between 6 and 6.5 inches if you're following this exactly. And I find that to be, pretty good overall. Hey, when you do it, I'm on camera right now.
Can't see the bracelet.
I'm on camera right now. I can see my screen. My husband's like, you're not on camera. I'm like, I am on camera. So wrapping twice. It's super fun. Now, if you wanted to make these a little bigger, you could. I just didn't want to go too crazy with like size, but you could absolutely do a little bigger. You could put a little tape back here too if you wanted to hold it in place a little bit more. I haven't really had any issues with it falling off. It seems to work pretty well because of the way I built the sleeves up. But of course, feel free to experiment with that. Hey, good job fixing the placement of that. Good observation. All right. So much fun.
This one's mine.
That one's yours. Okay, can I have this one?
Mine.
Oh, you gonna take mine? Well, I want to be fearless. stole my Swifty bracelets. That's not fun. All right. So what do you guys think of these? These are so fun, right? Make sure you go and download them. We have a bunch of designs. We have them in lots of different skin tone colors too. So we like to make all of them in diverse colors. It's lots of fun. Super cute. Okay. So I'm going to pause and look for some questions before we go into our giveaways. Can I have some bracelets?
No, I'm taking all of them.
She's taking all of them. I don't think that's what Taylor Swift would do. I think she would share her bracelets. I don't think I'm convincing her. So what questions do we have, honey?
Someone was asking for the friendship bracelets.
I got them on Amazon. Just type in friendship bracelets. You'll get tons of options. If you have lots of time on your hands, you can even get little kits and you can make them yourself. Like if you want to hand make the bracelets, there's little kits.
I want to hand make my bracelets.
You have enough bracelets. Have you taken all of the Swifty bracelets?
Yes.
No.
No, baby, go.
I want one. And you still have your pack in your room from Christmas. So we got her some for Christmas, and that's what inspired this idea. Okay.
The question is, can you do print and cut on vinyl?
Print and cut on vinyl. So they make a printable vinyl. If it's like straight up permanent vinyl, like on a roll, no, I would not recommend that. The ink from your printer would probably just smear right off. I would guess that would be my educated guess. I've never tried it. But they make a printable vinyl that you can get. Cricut makes one. There's also a brand called Luxoton on Amazon, Luxoton, and that makes a great waterproof printable vinyl. They have it in like holographic, glossy, matte finishes. They have lots of different options. So you can check that out as well. Why don't you show everybody all your bracelets?
Wait a minute.
She's organizing them on her wrists. So I would recommend going for a printable vinyl that's actually made for that for best results, for sure. Other questions?
My bracelets?
Someone's asking about how your Invisaligns are coming.
So cute. Thank you for asking. So I took them out while I was on here because I literally was filming this week for something else and I could not talk. I was tripping over my words. I was almost in tears at one point because I was like, I've said this line like 70 times and it just kept coming out all wrong. Something like P's and S's, especially together, my tongue gets tied and I can't do it. So I'm like, you know what? I already have sore throat. I'm gonna take my Invisalign out while I'm on here because I didn't want to misspeak 1,000 times on this and then get super confused, everybody confused. So it's going well. It's so funny. I've already felt things move so much that I've actually bit my lip at points in times because my bite's changing. So anyways, yeah, it's been a journey. I saw something a second ago about mats. Did you see that one?
So one person was asking about their mats drying out. They live in that wonderful dry state of Texas.
Yeah. So for mat care, I actually have a video coming out on this in the next week or so. For mat care, let me grab my nuts over here. I live in Florida, so it's hot, but it is humid. So we do have a lot of moisture here. I can't say I've had a lot of experience with that. I will say, keeping that plastic cover over them can help with the adhesive and not letting things get stuck to them, not letting that adhesive dry out as much, having that over it. You could also look into getting some sort of sleeve. So maybe an art drawing sleeve or something like that. I wouldn't honestly know what to call it, but you get some sort of sleeve that's like a zipper that closes, or even a large plastic bag that you can push the air out of and zip close. I would say that would also help. That would just be my basic recommendation on that. But definitely try and keep your liners so that when you're not in use, you can just put them back over it and it just protects the surface and that stickiness. So it's not, directly hitting the air around it. Those would be my 2 pieces of advice for you on that.
Oh, this question's popped up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Can you do a sublimate print and cut?
A sublimate print and cut. Yes, I personally, I have done that. One thing again, I have done that. See, my brain was short circuiting there. Yes, you can. So one thing that I have done, I wish I had a project nearby me to show you because I have one somewhere. But yes, I will use Design Space often for cutting out my sublimation designs. I mean, with a lot of sublimation designs, you can just usually print them out on like white sublimation paper and just put it right down and you're good. But if you want to have something cut out to where maybe you have to piece something together because it's like multiple pieces of a design to make a large design, then absolutely you can put your sublimation image into Design Space and then go ahead through the print and cut process, use your sublimation printer with the sublimation paper and go through all of that. And this is not exactly the same thing, but just to show you guys, this is something I'm working on we're remodeling our Cricut Joy course right now. So this is one of the projects that's coming with it. This is iron-on. So this is printable iron-on by Cricut, but it would be sort of a similar concept basically. Instead of sublimating, it's just pressed on, with the printable. But yeah, you could absolutely do that for sure. I use Design Space in lots of other ways like that too. So it doesn't have to be just like this or just for sticker paper or just for vinyl. You can definitely get creative with that for sure. Okay, what else? Do you have any other questions? I'm going to go into giveaways in a minute if we don't have too many things popping up. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this and seeing so much thank yous and all that stuff. I'm glad you are enjoying this. It's my pleasure to serve and to be able to, go along for the ride with your creative journey. I just love seeing, when you guys get to grow from newbie to intermediate to advanced and all the new things you can learn. I've been at this for 13 years and I still learn new things every day. So it's great to be a part of that journey. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick and I think we're gonna go ahead and go into our giveaways. Ella's super excited about the giveaways because she always helps Daddy pick the winners out when we randomly pull from the comments. Okay, show them your bracelets.
Oh, here, just put it down.
No, just hold your hand up. She have enough on? What do you think?
I can put more on.
Can I have one? All right. Okay, so we're going to go into our giveaways. What we're going to be giving away is a Cricut vinyl sampler. Oh, so generous. You gave 3. I got 1989 Fearless and red. All right, that works for me. Oh, 4. And I got faux floor. Okay, cool.
I'm not giving away this one.
Okay, I think 4 is good. Oh, and reputation. Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, now I got my bracelets. Okay. 14 bracelets. Okay, so we're gonna be giving away a Cricut. Can you put up the banner? Thank you, babe. This vinyl ultimate sampler right now from Cricut. I will be giving this away to one person. It's got 70 pieces of vinyl and all those pretty colors, so I'm super excited about that.
Can you give it to me?
No, I'm not going to give it to you. We're going to give it to one of these lovely crafters on the live. Look at that wall of vinyl over there, Ella. I got plenty of vinyl.
I know.
Okay, so I want to know, we're just going to do, if you've been on our lives before, I generally will just ask a fun question or an informational question. You guys will respond to it, and we just randomly pick someone from the comments. I actually have questions already designed, baby girl. Okay, so I'm just curious to know, tell me the reason that you purchased your Cricut machine, whether you purchased it recently or you purchased it a long time ago or you've been at this for a long time. What is the number one reason you wanted to buy a Cricut? Was it because you just enjoy crafting in general and you found it interesting? Was it because you wanted to make handmade gifts, handmade decor? Are you a small business owner? What was your reason for buying your Cricut machine? I would just love to know. I'd love to get to know my community a little bit better. I'd love to get to know your intentions behind your creative journey and what led you to it. So pop that in the comments. I'm going to give everyone a minute or two. We laugh every time this happens because it's just so fast. The comments just, whew. Don't worry. Even if you answer right away, we sort of scroll back and forth to pick somebody. So, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm taking a look here to make decor, to help with grief after losing my son. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. So while the comments are going there, I'm just going to take a minute to share my story if you haven't heard it. I understand the crafting for mental relief or grief 100%. That's how I got started. So after I had my babies, they're 9 and 10 now, but after I had my babies, I went through a very long season of depression, anxiety, to the point where life wasn't worth living anymore. And out of desperation, I just decided to start crafting again because I'd always loved being creative. And that kind of gave me an outlet for, creative outlet to be able to help myself start to heal. And of course, there was many other things along that journey. And then unexpectedly, I just started sharing it with other people. And I got so many questions of people who wanted to know, how do you do this, or how do you make that, or what tools do you use for that? And slowly but surely, I decided to do a blog. So that started 12 years ago now. After my kids, it was, technically, I've been crafting as a small business for like 13 years. But with my kids, it was about 10 years ago, 9.5 years ago. And then we started a blog a couple years into that journey. So, all right. Okay, so we have a winner that has been chosen. It is Susan. How do you say it? Knaus.
Do the vinyl.
Yes, the vinyl for you, Miss Susan Knaus. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I did not. I'm not great with, I speak phonetically. Susan Knaus. So you are our winner for that vinyl sampler. Congratulations. Please send us a message at hello@abbykirstencollections.com. I'm going to pop that up on the screen here in just a second. So you can send us a message and we will get your shipping info so we can send you that prize. Can you?
Yep, in 1 second.
Yeah, we do it right now.
We'll get that up on the screen in just a second. Congratulations. All right. Also, as I'm getting into these giveaways here, guys, I want to caution you. Please, please, please be vigilant against scammers online. Every time that we do these events, there is always someone out there who tries to impersonate us or tries to send a link to someone to get it to click on that's a malicious link or something like that. So I always have to put in these videos and notes that we will never, ever ask for sensitive info. AKC will never ask for sensitive info. We will never ask you to click on a link to receive something. No, absolutely not. Please do not engage in any of that. And usually just by putting this in here, people don't try it, but I always like to say that to make sure y'all are protected because it's just so sad how many of those people out there try that. So anyways, just want to let you know that. Okay. Woo. All right. We're going to do some VIP pass giveaways in just a second here. I love all y'all's answers. I'm going to go back and read all these in detail later. I see all of you. Yeah, I see some of you talking about the postpartum depression too. Yeah, I mean, and I talk about it. I didn't used to talk about it. You're shaking, baby. I didn't used to talk about it at all, but if we don't talk about it, then it remains a problem, right? So we need to share about it. We need to share our struggles and our journeys. And I think crafting and creativity is one of the most powerful things to heal our hearts and mentally, or at least aid in that journey, along with other things that can help. So yeah, thank you all for sharing in return. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go back and read all these comments in detail later on as well. All right, let me get to the bottom here. Ooh, if I can. All right. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay. Whew. All right, so VIP passes. How many people have we got on right now? Does that say 8:45?
Yep.
Holy crap, I'm going to get stage fright. All right.
46.
Well,
yeah.
she's not counting me.
Well, yeah, I'm not counting Daddy. I don't mind talking in front of Daddy. All right. Oh, so one thing I want to mention, I almost forgot this. Hey, babe, can you put the thing up about the dream box?
Yep.
Thank you. So I almost forgot to mention this. I'm glad I saw it. So Dreambox right now, in honor of the Cricut Craftfest, Create Room's the brand, but Dreambox, save $350 off of a Dreambox with this Cricut Craftfest code that is on your screen right now. Cricut Craftfest 24. Hey babe, can you drop Susan or you or both, doesn't matter who, that link. We're going to put a link in the comments right now. It's also in the description of this video on YouTube. If you actually look at see more under the video, there's a link that'll take you directly to the Create Room site. It is an affiliate link, so we do earn some commission off of it, which supports our business, but doesn't change your price at all. And if you plug in that code, you'll be able to get a discount. So I wanted to just take a quick detour there to mention that. I love my Dreambox. I have one over here. I'll actually rotate for a second so you guys can see, which will include my husband and my daughter and some messiness in the craft room. So there's my dream box. Say hi, Eddie.
Okay, now you include him, 46.
Now I'm including it, yeah. So I love my dream box. Anyways, I want to mention that because I didn't want you guys to miss out that opportunity. Like I said, check out that sponsor page too. There's lots more like freebies and savings on there. So you guys definitely want to make sure you grab that and save all you can because we need to save as much as possible so we can spend on more craft supplies, right? Of course.
No.
Yeah. My daughter says no. All right. So let's move on to, hey baby girl, don't do that, okay? Let's move on to our VIP pass giveaways. So let's see. I'm gonna ask 2 different questions for this. We're gonna pick. Oh gosh, there's so many of y'all on here. We're gonna do at least 5, but let's start with 5 and we'll go from there. So aside from Cricut projects, because I know most of you on here either love Cricut or are just getting started with Cricut. No, other question, babe. Sorry, my husband's monitoring over here. Aside from Cricut projects, what is another hobby, type of craft, or pastime you enjoy? It can be anything, guys. Do you like to crochet? Do you like to knit? Do you like to garden? What other hobbies do you like? Ella, what's one hobby you started at Christmas? You want to come tell them? Don't be shy. Come tell them what it is. You want to show them one of your designs? You better do it quick. So at Christmas, we started looking at punch needling, and my daughter's super creative like me, so she wanted to get a punch needle kit. So that was one of her Christmas gifts, and so she's been doing that. She even got my son into it, and I've been enjoying it too. So punch needling is fun. Yeah, show them the one you're working on. Show them the rainbow one. Hold it up right there. Oh, she's working on this one right now. It's a pretty rainbow, and you got the sky, and you're gonna work on filling. Yep, very nice. All right, you've done lots, haven't you? Yeah, you've done lots. All right, so we're gonna pick, oh goodness, let's just pick, I guess, 5 people out of all the comments that just came through. Just write it, like, just make sure you're scrolling back and forth so that people at the top who answered first are also getting entered into that, and we're not just looking from the bottom. Diamond art, ooh, gardening. Ella, lots of people like your punch needle.
Wait, where is it?
You'll see in a minute.
Upcycling furniture, watercolor painting.
Watercolor painting.
See, lots of the diamond dot painting and that. I haven't tried that yet.
Diamond dot painting is so fun.
I haven't tried that yet. Photography, I love that. Baking, very nice. Drawing, dollhouse kits, card making.
Come on, Ellie, I think so.
Lots of gardening. I need to get into gardening. I do lots of paper flowers. If you guys know me, you can obviously see some behind me. I do tons of paper flowers. I kill every plant that I touch. I have a paper thumb, not a green thumb. So I stick with the paper because I can't kill it. The worst I can do is crush it. Which I guess isn't that much better, but at least it's not going to die because I forgot to water it. Hey, Miss Ella, calm down. I know you're excited, honey, but they need to be able to hear me, okay? You can't talk over me. Okay.
No, that's not touchscreen.
Are you guys writing some down? Ooh, rock mandalas. I like that. Sewing. I so need to get into sewing, you guys. I have a sewing machine, and I've only ever sewn like practice lines, but like I have so many ideas of things I would love to do for sewing, and I just haven't had the time to like sit down and do it. But if you're somebody who is like a hobbyist and happens to also have a small business or a side hustle, you learn quickly that you need to like have a separate hobby from your craft business. And you need to have that like separate for like your own personal like enjoyment and fulfillment. So I'm thinking like at least for a season, sewing could be that for me. My mom sews or used to sew a little bit. She has more experience than I do, you know. She hasn't really sewed in a long time. And then her mom was really creative as well. So I think we get that from mom's side of the tree. I think mom's on here too somewhere. She's probably not commenting, but I think she's on here. I always tell her when I'm going live so she can watch. All right, they're still picking, guys. Thank you for your patience. Antiquing, kayaking, acrylic paint, needlepoint, nice. Knitting, jewelry making, fishing, lots of gardening. I need to try gardening again. Quilting, puzzles. I love puzzles. We love puzzles in our house. We have lots of board games and puzzles. I love that because it detaches you from technology. Like I don't like, we're not the kind of house that loves giving like tablets and screen time to kids. So we try and find like those types of activities, and board games and puzzles for us have been like one of those things that we just like love as a family. So yes, love that myself. Quilting. You guys got names?
Yeah, we got
Coloring. Punch needle. Oh, there's some other people here doing punch needle too, baby girl.
Yeah, I know. I picked on punch needle.
All right. Ooh, okay. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. Is that Debbie, babe?
Debbie.
Yes.
Debbie Montgomery? Debbie Montgomery, is that what it was, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading his writing too. Debbie Montgomery, you're one of our VIP access winners. If you guys have already purchased the pass, we will refund you. So if we call your name, we will refund you. You still get to win it. We have Cheryl Harvey. Is that correct? Okay. Cheryl Harvey, Karen Franick. All right, Ben?
Yeah.
Karen Franick, Christina. Oh, I don't know if I can say that.
Oh, yeah.
Christina Sharut. I'm sorry if I'm
She's
saying
the one
that
with
wrong.
punch needle.
Jenny. What's
Sandan.
that? I can't read your writing, babe.
Sandan.
I don't know what letter this is, babe. I don't want to say it wrong. That's the first name. Sandlin.
Yeah, of course.
That does not look like an L.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Jenny Sandlin. So Jenny Sandlin, Christina, what's that again? Sharut, Karen Franick, Cheryl Harvey, and Debbie Montgomery. All right.
Sandan.
Okay, I don't know. I can't read his writing. He's got like doctor writing. You guys are the winners of VIP passes.
Help us back on tag them in the thing.
Okay. Well, here you go.
Bella, can you bring it to
Here,
me,
baby,
please?
can you take that to daddy? You guys are the winners. So if you can reach out to the email address here on their screen, hello@abbykirstingcollections.com, we will get you set up with a free VIP access pass. And if you already purchased, we will also refund you. We still have so many people on here, guys. I think this is the biggest live we have ever had. Libby, are you trying to eat my paper?
Yes, Mommy, yes.
Oh, do you think we should give away some more VIP passes? Because there's so many people on here. Sit there and look cute if you think we should give away more VIP passes. She's sitting there looking cute. So I think we should give away some more VIP. How about 5 more VIP passes, guys? Let's do that last question, babe, when you get a second.
Hold on 1 second. The people that just won are getting tagged right now in the chat. So
Okay.
just keep them.
So Mike says, my husband, he says that you're getting tagged in the chat if you were one of the winners of the VIP pass. And if you heard your name call out, hopefully you recognize it. Just send us a message. We'll get you taken care of. And we're going to do one more round because there's so many people on here right now that I want to make sure that we're able to give as much as possible. So he's tagging you real quick. I'm going to ask one more fun question. And then, yeah. So don't forget, guys, go check out that giveaway page, okay? abbykirstenscraftfest.com/giveaway-3. There are so many giveaways on there, including a dream box. So make sure you guys go and check those out and sign up for all those amazing options. What?
Libby's so excited.
I know. Look at the enthusiasm. She is so happy about the giveaways.
All right.
Excitement. She actually gets really wound up in the morning with like the zoomies and everything, but right now she's in her nap mode, so she's like, could you just like put me in? All right, whenever you're ready, babe.
Yep.
Okay, so 5 more VIP access passes for the Cricut Craftfest. What is something else that you would love to see more from me? So this could be anything. Is this a certain craft? Obviously, I do a lot with Cricut, paper flowers, that kind of stuff. More lives from me. I won't lie, these are always a little taxing on me because I need to get more comfortable with them, but I want to get to spend more time with you guys. So if you like these lives, let me know. I'll do more of them. I'll get comfortable with them and I will keep doing them and we'll keep learning new things together. Small, group coaching for crafting and things like that, more one-on-one stuff or smaller group situations. Anything beyond that as well. Something else pops to mind, just a particular craft or something like that. Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Maybe we could just snuggle with Dougies. I'll bring our pets and we'll all just sit and show our pets off. I think that would be fun. Oh, you're cute and you're pretty little, but you get a little heavy.
A lot of dead weight there.
Yeah. She looks so enthusiastic about this. Look how excited she is about the Cricut Craftfest. Okay, guys, so we'll let the comments settle for a minute. We're gonna pick 5 more people, and I cannot read your writing, babe. So why don't you just come over here and call them out, because I'm gonna keep butchering people's names, and that makes me feel really bad. Half the battle is I can't read your scribbles.
Because it's in cursive.
Well, I know how to write and read in cursive too, but your signature is 3 loops, okay? So they're not even letters. My husband's signature is 3 loops. And we're supposed to know that that means Michael Gillespie, and he's expecting me to read his writing. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to get to the most recent comments.
Looks like lives and sublimation are
Lives and sublimation. All right. So I actually do have a post on sublimation for beginners on my site where I highlight all the supplies, because I do have stuff for sublimation. I have sublimated before. And I have, other crafty friends who sublimated as well. So I am familiar with it. I can definitely work on producing more content around that if that's something you guys are interested in. Sounds like lives. Sounds like you guys like these lives. So I will definitely make sure that we're doing more of them in the future. If you got any other craft ideas, let me know. I'm going to go back through the comments. I'm actually going to make notes because I love getting this feedback so that I'm creating things that I know you guys will love to consume. Okay. You writing them down?
I am.
All right. We're randomly picking 5 more lovely crafters for the VIP pass. Again, if you've already purchased, we'll refund you. So you still get to win one. Oh my goodness. We've never had so many comments. Thank you guys so much for all your engagement, spending time with me today. Wow. Cricut class, small groups, shadow boxes. I see shadow boxes and stickers. So if you go to my site, abbykirsoncollections.com, type in things like stickers and shadow boxes, things. I do have tutorials on those there that you can get started with now, and I'll be more than happy to continue to develop more in that category, so to speak. And then maybe actually do more of them like on live, since you guys are saying you like the live so much. We can do more of them on lives. Maybe we could do sublimating on the live. We could do stickers or shadow boxes and other things on lives. So I will make note of all of this. Oh my goodness. So lovely. Okay. All right. Cards. Thank you guys for all your sweet words too. I really appreciate them. It fuels me to keep going. It fuels us. It fuels our team to keep going. We are a small business, but I like to say we're mini but mighty. We like to make an impact and difference. And while I'm here, I just want to say thank you to my team. My husband came on board full time with us this last year, so he's been my full-time business partner. I have an amazing executive assistant, Susan, who takes care of so much of what you see happen at the event, and I have amazing additional support through her. Shannon and Paula are also on my team. Thank you, ladies, for all of your hard work. He's going to read out the last 5 names here, since I'm not going to be able to, read those scripts. I mean, how am I supposed to read that?
I can read it just fine.
It's because you wrote it.
So we have Christina Stark.
Okay, Christina Stark.
Cheryl G.
Cheryl G.
Julie Carroll.
Julie Carroll.
Christy Turner.
Christy Turner.
And Heidi Weller.
Heidi Weller. Awesome. All right, so if you heard your name called, go ahead and put that back up on.
Yeah, I'll tag them in the chat.
My husband's going to go tag you guys, and then you can also just reach out to us directly here. And yeah, thank you guys for crafting with me today. Thank you for bearing with us and for my hoarseness and coughing a little bit. Okay. And I also just want to say, let me show you real quick, because I think some of you will find this interesting. I'm going to share my screen again. Don't forget to download those friendship bracelets. But if you haven't created an account here too, on members.abbykirsoncollections.com, we have lots of Valentine's Day projects in here. And if you click on all crafts, you can actually tick by free projects only. So if right now that's all that's an option for you, if you click that, you'll be able to browse 30 pages worth of free downloads and projects. So make sure you check that out. And then for all of our amazing premium members, and I know there's many of y'all on here already, of course you get everything else. And if you want to look specifically for Valentine's Day, we have a category for that as well. We just released these little gnomes for our premium members. Aren't they so cute? I think they're so cute. And we have lots of candy doggies on here too. Lots of cute kids printables. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. If you're looking for more goodies, we got lots of them for you. All right. Well, y'all, thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you were a winner, make sure you reach out to us so that we can make sure you get taken care of. I can't wait to kick off the Cricut Craftfest on Monday. It's going to be awesome. And as you all know, we tend to do this event 2 times a year. However, we are going to be shifting sort of our cycle of things. We are still going to be doing another event, so don't worry, they're not going anywhere. But we're going to be changing up the theme and the timing just a little bit with our next event that's going to be happening in late September. So you might want to just pencil in fun event to come from Abby at the end of September in case you don't want to miss our next one. You guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much. If you have other questions and you're watching a replay, feel free to leave them with this video. There's more information about the free ticket, the VIP pass, and everything in the description of this video, so you can find those links and details there. All right, Libby, you want to come say bye to everybody? She is out of here. She just walked out of the room. She literally straight up ignored me and walked out of the room. I think she's hungry. She's ready for a nap. I am too. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for spending time with me today. And I really appreciate, just all your sweet words and getting to come along in your creative journey. All right, so I will see you guys next time. And I'm going to make a note to do more lives because you all seem to like this so much. So I hope we will see you soon or sooner rather than later. That is the plan. Okay, so that's it for now. Bye.